All right, welcome back to the Landau, however you pronounce it, Bandit 20 pontoon boat. If y'all remember, I was having issues with the motor. I had to advance the timing. I left the timing advanced. I went to the tower fuel system. That wasn't a problem. I swapped out the CDI. That wasn't a problem. Because being I have to advance the timing, that tells me it's running lean or there's a problem with the timing CDI box. And sorry, I was flipping you off. But the CDI box was fine. All the fuel was fine. I pulled the spark plug and noticed water wet, like a milky brown wetness on all three plugs. That told me water was getting in the cylinders. So I was hoping it was a head gasket, but it wasn't. But it needed to be changed anyway. I changed the head gasket. It wound up being the exhaust plate. Bought a brand new exhaust plate. Broke a few bolts. Had to drill and tap, I think 3 or 4 bolts. One bolt is barely holding on. Of course, it's the bottom one. The threads were bad. I'd have to go oversized, but I can always pop off the trim and I can tap it through here if it does leak, if the water jacket does leak. So new gaskets, new exhaust plate, because the exhaust plate had a hole in it, and like I said, it was spraying water into the top cylinder and water falling into every other cylinder, and that's why it was running lean. It was not getting enough fuel because it was being cut with water. So I haven't fired it up yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and run the water hose to it, and I'm gonna fire it up. I'm suspecting if that was my only problem, which I think it was, now it's gonna be idling really high because I had the timing in advance. So at that point, I'll back off the timing, get it back to where it should be, and then if everything does good, I can go for a test ride. There was one wire I was uncertain of. I didn't remember unplugging this white wire coming from the CDI. And there's a pink wire here going, I believe, to the voltage regulator. But I'm not sure if these two plugged in together or not. I don't remember. It was quite a few days ago. So I plugged it in. So let's hope for the best and I don't fry nothing. Worst case, I could unplug it and try to start it. If it starts good without it and it stops without it, then I don't need it. But I'm gonna take my chances. And, I'll bring y'all back in a few when I got it running, if I got it running. Alright, back running. Did have a leak on one bolt. I had a silicone around it. Let it cure overnight. I guess it's time to go put in the water. Test ride, see what you do. Either it's gonna do better or it's not. I did change my trim solenoid. Sometimes it wouldn't go down, so I had a part because this red wire was behind here. When I pulled the power head, I could not get this wire out, so I yanked it out. So I had to pull off this whole plate, the starter, everything, just to get this wire out. But it turned out to change the trim solenoid. I had to pull all this anyway. So that's all done. I got the wiring sorted out. At first it wouldn't stop with the key. I had 2 wires swapped. I had this white wire. I accidentally plugged in this wire on it, but now everything's working, starting and stopping with the key. I got the timing a lot closer. If I put the timing on the idle timer mark, it idles really rough and dies. So I have it slightly advanced, but not as advanced as I had it. So we're gonna try that out. See if that helps solve the problem. I'm gonna go launch it, and I'll let y'all know. Either I done some good or I didn't. See you in a little bit. All right, welcome back to On the Water Trials. I do need to make a little adjustment on my idle, but she's running pretty good. I'm happy with her. And we get a top speed of like 19.7, 19.8, and I'm now turning 4,000 RPM, so I mean I can lower pitch and prop. Now the motor's running right. Let's show you what you do. I don't know if you can see the screen, the numbers. I can't see them. We'll see if it comes out in the video when I get on up. Put the hammer down. engine's moving pretty good. Still holding 19.6. But sorry, my finger's always in the way. She rides smooth. I'm happy with her. I'm happy I took the time to diagnose and fight with it and figure out the problems. And as you can see, we got a lot of rain around us. So I'm gonna play local today, burn a little bit of gas, run the old girl. But so far, she seems to be doing well. Fire's right up. Don't have any issues, but like I said, my idle is kind of on the low end. She shakes a little bit in idle, but it's still got old spark plugs. They were firing, so I left them. Maybe give it a tune up. It's a bit windy today too, so I'm hot going with the wind. Going back, I'm gonna have a cool breeze. We'll see how much the wind slows it down. I know picking it back up on the trailer is going to be difficult. I had trouble launching with the wind, blowing at least, I don't know, 12 mile an hour, somewhere around there. Bring up the cruising speed. Cruising speed about 1800 RPM, doing 6 mile an hour. I'm happy with that. We're in Chauvin, Louisiana. There's the LSU Sculpture Garden. If you're not familiar with that, might want to check it out. It's like a tourist attraction. One of our only tourist attractions in Chauvin, besides our little pizza place, Pizza Express. That's kind of a tourist attraction. It's the only pizza joint in town. But yeah, I'm gonna ride around for a few hours, and I'll report back later on how she did and how she didn't do, and my thoughts and what are my plans with her. I'm still uncertain. Yeah, I'm very happy. I was almost at the point where I was gonna pull the 50 off. I have a 60 Daihatsu and I have a couple 70 Johnsons. I was gonna throw one of them on here. I don't like the fuel consumption of the 70 Johnsons. Great motors. One of my favorite outboards, the OMC 3-cylinder. It's my favorite outboards. They're probably the most reliable two-strokes. I have a 1975, never been overhauled, and it runs beautiful. But the fuel consumption, you know, back when those motors were built, gas was only 20 cents a gallon, and that was considered high. By today's standards, it burns a lot of fuel, but it's reliable, a lot of power. And, so that was my plans if this 50 didn't work out. Either a 60 Daihatsu that needs some work, it's got a missing prop. I know it needs a water pump, that's all I know about it, and I have a couple 70s. But I didn't go that route, and I can't afford a new 4-stroke. Although if I did get a new 4-stroke, I'd probably get a 60 4-stroke, a 40 to a 60. Because really, this is plenty enough speed at 19 miles. I was happy when it was only doing 16, 17. So, all right, I'm gonna stop rambling. Catch y'all in a little bit. All right, motor's doing great, running good. Nice day for cruise. I put the top up. Even with the top up, still gets me a good 19.5, I believe, against the wind. Can't complain. There's a cruise around the bayou over here today. I don't believe I'm bringing it to the lake. Put some miles on her, some hours. See how she does. You know, so far doing good. 2,000 RPM. We're doing 5.5 against the wind. point I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the boat. I'll probably just leave it like it is and use it for an open fishing platform and bring my boy swimming in the lake. I don't think it'll pull a tube. It may not, I don't know. My little 25 pulls a tube about 19, 20 mile an hour with just me and my son in the boat. This, I don't think it'll maintain 19. I'll probably drop down to 17, but it'll still be fun for him on a tube. So maybe that's something we'll look at doing. Have a little adventure one day. So now we're just gonna cruise. Enjoy this weather while it's here and the free time while I got it. So definitely the hole in the exhaust plate was putting water in 3 cylinders, and that's why I was suffering, causing a lean, almost like a lean condition, because it was mixing water with the fuel and it couldn't burn efficiently. So it kept bogging and dying on me, and had a lower top end RPM, which is understandable. It was getting water in 3 cylinders. But now, as far as I know, she's doing great, and we're gonna test ride her. I parked at a neighbor's dock. I'm getting a little hungry, so I've got to walk a couple 100 yards that way across the street to get to my house. Might as well get a little meal. The boat's doing great, doing what it's supposed to do. Very happy with it. Let's go eat. Take this long hot walk on a 96-degree Fahrenheit day. Might be a little bit of rain. Decided to nose up to the bank and come check out the Clearview Mini Mart in Chauvin. Little houseboat. Well, I had fun. It's been about 3.5 hours riding up and down. I fine-tuned the idle and timing a little bit more. Purring, beautiful, and idle. No longer on the verge of a stall. She's been running great. I'll probably burn a good 2 gallons of gas. I guess the launch is right there. I guess I'm gonna pull up and call it a day, but I really want to keep riding. But I got other things to do. I really didn't have the time to do this today. But I want to thank y'all for viewing. I know I said earlier in the video that was a bit of the last one, but I wanted to keep riding and riding. I went to the store. I went to eat. I was going to go to the pizza place, but it's really not a place to tie up on there by its sides. It's got rocks, and I don't want to beat this thing up. So I wound up going a couple miles further to my neighbor's dock. I walk across the street and eat something at home. So I guess I'm going to turn this camera off the dock. There's only one place to tie up. It's a piece of pipe that somebody drove in the ground. It's the only place to really tie up. It's really a terrible launch, but it's free, it's public. So I'm about to make the loop, come up against the wind, parallel park it so I can go get the trailer in. But I want to thank y'all for sticking with me for this little test ride, and I'm confident this thing's not gonna give me any issues. I'm gonna try to plan a trip to go out in the lake with it with my son, bring him swimming, and see if this thing will pull a tube. But it does 19 miles an hour. I don't know how much the tube's gonna slow down. I guess we're gonna find out. Yeah, let me go ahead and end it, because I don't want to park and operate the camera on hand with this wind. So see y'all next round. I'm glad y'all stuck with me. I'm glad I figured out the problem with the engine. I'm glad I got it running good. Catch y'all later. I'm gonna attempt to try to wash those lilies out, so now all over my trailer. Get stuck under the pontoon, but I don't know if it's gonna work. We're gonna try. All right, we got a good bit. That's a thick island right there. That'd have been difficult to deal with stuck on the trailer. A little bit left. I can live with that. Let's go get it on the trailer.